How to make every day so fun you don't even have time to scroll. Everyone tells you to put your phone down. Lock it away. Use those blocking apps. Delete social media. Try grayscale mode. But here's what I never hear anyone talk about. You don't want to put it down because your phone is genuinely more interesting than what you're putting it down for. And that's the real problem, isn't it? We've been treating scrolling like it's some character flaw. Like if you just had more willpower, more discipline, more self-control, you'd magically stop reaching for that little glowing rectangle. But I want you to consider something. You're not fighting a phone addiction. You're fighting boredom. You're fighting empty moments. You're fighting a life that doesn't feel engaging enough to compete with an algorithm specifically designed to capture human attention. Think about it. Billion-dollar companies hired the smartest psychologists, the most talented engineers, the best designers on the planet. And they gave them one job. Make this app impossible to put down. And you're over here trying to beat that with willpower? That's not a fair fight. So let me offer you a different approach. Instead of trying to resist your phone, what if you made your actual life more compelling than your phone? What if you filled those empty moments with things so genuinely interesting that your phone started feeling like the boring option? You don't have a scrolling problem. You have an empty moments problem. And that's actually great news. Because empty moments, those are fixable. So if willpower isn't the answer, what is? It starts with how you wake up. Chapter 1. The 90 minutes that matter most. Here's something I wish I'd learned sooner. First 90 minutes of your day basically program your brain for everything that comes after. There's this thing called the cortisol awakening response. When you wake up, your brain releases a surge of cortisol. Not the stressed out bad cortisol. The focused, alert, ready to engage cortisol. Your brain is literally primed for engagement in those first 90 minutes. And what do most people do with this precious window? They hand it directly to their phone. The alarm goes off. Before your feet even hit the floor, you're checking notifications, scrolling through whatever chaos happened overnight, absorbing other people's thoughts, other people's priorities, other people's emergencies. By the time you actually start your day, your brain is already scattered, already reactive, already trained to seek external stimulation. I used to sleep with my phone on my pillow. Literally, the first thing I saw every morning was whatever drama unfolded while I slept. My brain was already fragmented before I'd taken a single conscious breath. So here's the first change. Your phone stays out of your bedroom, or at minimum, across the room, somewhere you can't reach from bed. Then, for those first 90 minutes, you don't check it at all. Instead, you get sunlight within the first 10 minutes. Step outside. Stand by a window. Let your brain know it's daytime. Hydrate before caffeine. Glass of water, maybe with lemon if you want to feel fancy. Your body's been fasting for 8 hours. It needs water more than coffee. And here's a trick that actually works. Put your phone in the bathroom. Use it as your alarm. Now you have to get up to turn it off. And once you're up, you might as well start your morning instead of crawling back under the covers. But protecting your morning is just the container. What you put in that container matters even more. Chapter 2. Morning pages and the art of brain dumping. There's a practice that writers have used for decades. It's called morning pages. And I know, the word journaling makes some people immediately tune out. But stay with me. Because this isn't really journaling. Morning pages are simple. You wake up, you grab a notebook, and you write 3 pages of whatever comes into your head. Longhand. Stream of consciousness. No rules. It's not about writing well. It's not about being profound. Half of what you write will be garbage. I'm tired. I don't know what to write. My neck hurts. What should I eat for breakfast? That's fine. That's the point. You're emptying your brain. You're clearing the mental cache. You're dumping all the noise so something better can move in. And here's why this matters for scrolling. Most morning, scrolling isn't really about the content. It's about mental stimulation. Your brain wakes up hungry for input. And your phone is the fastest, easiest source of input available. Morning pages give your brain that stimulation. But instead of consuming someone else's thoughts, you're processing your own thoughts. Instead of feeding the curiosity monster junk food, you're giving it something nutritious. Keep a notebook and pen on your nightstand. Right before you check anything. 10 to 15 minutes. Don't time yourself. Don't judge what comes out. Just dump. Morning pages aren't about writing well. They're about emptying your brain so something better can move in. Now, some people hear 3 pages and think absolutely not. Fair. So let me give you 5 more options that take even less time. Chapter 3. Micro-adventures for the attention-starved brain. Your brain craves novelty. That's not a flaw. That's how humans evolved to survive. New information could mean new food sources, new threats, new opportunities. The problem is, your phone has figured out how to exploit that craving. Infinite scroll gives you endless microdoses of novelty. New post, new video, new notification. Your brain's novelty detector is going crazy. But here's what I find fascinating. That same novelty craving can be satisfied by real things. Things that leave you feeling full instead of hollow. Things that take less than 10 minutes, I call these micro-adventures, and rotating between them keeps each one fresh. Here are 5 to try. First, the Flash Fiction Challenge. Set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and write a complete story. Beginning, middle, end. It'll probably be terrible. That's not the point. The constraint forces creativity. Try basing it on a conversation snippet you overheard yesterday. Second, the texture hunt. Touch 5 different textures around you. Describe each in a single word. This sounds absolutely ridiculous. I know. The first time I did it, I felt like an idiot standing in my kitchen touching the countertop. But then I noticed the grain in my wood cutting board. I'd made breakfast on that thing 1,000 times and never actually seen it. Third, soundscape journaling. Close your eyes. List every single sound you can hear. The fridge humming, birds outside, the weird creak your apartment makes. Then write 1 sentence about what those sounds say about this moment. Fourth, the daily haiku. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. About something you can see right now. Takes 3 minutes. Creates a tiny artifact. Forces you to actually look at your surroundings. Fifth, sketch something badly. Draw whatever's in front of you. No skill required. The point isn't the drawing. The point is observation. You see familiar things completely differently when you try to draw them. These fill the empty moments with actual engagement. But to really beat the scroll, you need to understand when those empty moments happen. Chapter 4. The Architecture of Your Day. Here's something I discovered when I started paying attention. Most of my scrolling happened at the same times every day. Transition moments. After finishing one task, before starting another. Waiting for coffee to brew. That gap between a meeting ending and the next one starting. These in-between moments are where the phone wins. Because you haven't decided what to do next. And when you haven't decided, your phone decides for you. So here's what works. A time audit. For 3 days, track what you're doing every 30 minutes. Not just the productive stuff. Everything. And note how you felt during each block. Engaged, bored, anxious, numb. Most people discover 2 or 3 specific recurring scroll holes. Times when they reliably lose track of 20, 30, 60 minutes. Once you know when you're vulnerable, you can prepare. This is where time blocking becomes useful, but not just for work. Time blocking for fun. Schedule your leisure like you schedule meetings. That sounds counterintuitive. I want to be spontaneous. Sure. But is scrolling for 2 hours spontaneous? Or is it just default? The Pomodoro technique works great for this. 25 minutes of focused work, then a 5-minute break. But here's the key. That 5-minute break is for a micro-adventure, not for your phone. And try limiting yourself to 3 major tasks per day. Sounds restrictive. Actually liberating. When you know what you're supposed to be doing, you stop asking, what should I do? And that question is what opens the door to scrolling. The most dangerous time isn't when you're busy. It's the in-between moments. Own those. Own your attention. Now you know when you're vulnerable. Let's talk about where. Chapter 5. Engineering your environment. There's a truth that's hard to accept. Environment beats willpower. Every single time. Your phone is optimized for grabbing attention. The colors, the sounds, the notifications, the placement of buttons. Every detail engineered to pull you in. Meanwhile, your physical space is probably optimized for nothing. It's just there. So let's fix that. Physical environment first. Where does your phone charge at night? Move it. Somewhere far from where you work, far from where you relax. Make it inconvenient to grab without thinking. Clear your workspace. Clutter creates mental static. And when your brain feels staticky, it reaches for the phone to feel something else. Keep creative tools visible. Notebook on the desk. Sketchpad by the couch. That book you keep meaning to read within arm's reach. Make the good alternatives the easy alternatives. Create a cozy reading nook somewhere. A chair, good lighting, a blanket. This becomes a destination. Somewhere to go instead of reaching for the scroll. Now, digital environment. Notification audit. Go through every app on your phone. Does this need to interrupt you? For most apps, the answer is no. Turn them off. 99% of messages can wait 30 to 60 minutes. Nothing is as urgent as your attention is valuable. Close all tabs before focused work. Try grayscale mode. Delete apps you only open out of habit. You can always use the browser version if you actually need them. You're not building a bunker to hide from your phone. You're building a playground that's more attractive than the phone. Environment handles the external triggers. But what about when your brain is the one reaching for distraction? Chapter 6. Intentional breaks and the Daydream schedule. Breaks are essential. Your brain literally cannot sustain focus indefinitely. But here's what I've noticed. Most breaks are just more consumption. You stop working to start scrolling. That's not rest. That's just a different kind of input. There's a difference between restorative breaks and depleting breaks. Restorative breaks leave you feeling better than before. Depleting breaks leave you feeling vaguely worse. Scrolling is almost always depleting. Here are restorative alternatives. Movement breaks. Put on one song and dance. I know. But physically moving to music does something chemical in your brain. 3 minutes, and you feel genuinely different. Or do a simple stretch routine. Or just walk to the window, look at the sky for a minute, and come back. Sensory breaks. Make tea or coffee, and make it slow. Watch the water boil. Notice the steam. Hold the warm mug. Step outside and feel the temperature on your skin. If you have a pet, take 5 minutes to really be present with them. And here's the weird one. Daydream breaks. Schedule them like meetings. 10 minutes. No input. No phone, no book, no podcast. Just let your mind wander. I started doing this and felt guilty at first. Like I should be doing something. Then I noticed something interesting. My best ideas weren't coming during focused work. They were coming during these nothing windows. Your brain needs unfocused time to process, to make connections, to consolidate learning. Scrolling feels like a break, but it's actually more input. Your brain never gets to rest. Schedule your daydreams like meetings. Your wandering mind isn't procrastinating. It's processing. You've filled your day with genuine engagement. Now let's make sure tomorrow is set up for success before you go to sleep. Want to level up your people skills? Join our YouTube membership for early access to scripts, input on future topics, and connection with a community that gets the social struggle. Click join below and let's master human interaction together. Chapter 7. The evening ritual that sets up tomorrow. How you end today determines how you start tomorrow. And here's the trap. The evening scroll hole is the deepest one. You're tired. Your willpower is depleted. Your brain wants easy dopamine. And the phone is right there. But that easy evening dopamine costs you tomorrow's morning. You stay up too late. Sleep poorly. Wake up groggy. Reach for the phone because you don't have energy for anything else. It's a loan with terrible interest rates. So here's an evening checklist that actually works. First, the brain dump. 5 minutes. Write tomorrow's 3 priorities. Dump any lingering, anxious thoughts onto paper. Get it out of your head so it doesn't keep you up. Second, physical prep. 10 minutes. Lay out tomorrow's clothes. Set up the coffee maker. Pack lunch if that's relevant. Put your creative tools where you'll see them in the morning. You're removing decision fatigue before it starts. Third, wind down ritual. This starts 30 minutes before bed. Enable night mode or blue light filter. Move to your cozy reading nook. Phone plugs in outside the bedroom. 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Non-negotiable. Your evening self is setting up a gift for your morning self. Or a trap. Your choice. Daily practices are powerful. But there's one weekly ritual that ties it all together. Chapter 8. The Weekly Fun Audit. What gets measured, gets managed. And that includes fun, once a week. Take 15 minutes. Answer 5 questions. 1. What were this week's 3 most memorable moments? If you can't think of 3, that tells you something. 2. When did I scroll mindlessly and what was I actually avoiding? There's usually a pattern. 3. Which micro-adventures worked this week? Which felt forced? Adjust accordingly. 4. What do I want more of next week? More morning pages? More walks? More creative time? 5. What one thing will I try that's new? Keep rotating. Keep exploring. And here's something that changed my weeks dramatically. Weekly mini projects. One small, polished creative output per week. A finished drawing. A short story you actually complete. A recipe you try for the first time. A space you reorganize. This completes the effort to satisfaction loop. You put something into the world. You have proof that you're creating, not just consuming. That feeling beats scrolling every single time. If you can, protect Friday afternoons. No meetings, no obligations. This becomes your catch-up and creative buffer. People who try this consistently say it's life-changing. Now let's zoom out, because this isn't really about tactics. It's about who you're becoming. Chapter 9. Becoming the person who doesn't need to scroll. Here's something important. Habits stick when they become identity. As long as you see yourself as someone trying to scroll less, you're still fighting. There's resistance built into that identity. You're white-knuckling against something you actually want to do. But when the identity shifts, when you become someone with a life too interesting to scroll through, everything feels different. Every time you choose a micro-adventure over your phone, you're casting a vote. Every morning page, every texture hunt, every scheduled daydream. Votes. And eventually, the votes add up to an identity. Think about the compound effect. One morning page is nothing. One haiku is trivial. One texture hunt feels silly. But 30 days of morning pages? That's 90 pages of cleared mental space. 30 haikus about your actual life. 150 textures you never noticed before. You're a different person after that. Not because any single thing was transformative, but because the accumulation is. I still scroll sometimes. I'm not a robot. The difference is now I notice it happening. And most of the time, I have something better to do. Not because I forced myself. Because I actually do. You're not avoiding your phone. You're choosing something better. That's not restriction. That's freedom. So, let's make this practical. Chapter 10. Your first week. A practical quick start. Don't implement everything at once. That's how you burn out by Wednesday and give up entirely. Here's your first week. Pick one thing from the morning section. Either keep your phone out of the bedroom, or get sunlight in the first 10 minutes, or do a 5-minute brain dump before checking anything. Just one. Pick one micro-adventure to try. Daily haiku is easiest. 3 minutes. Or the texture hunt if you want something more physical. Pick one evening practice. The brain dump works great. 5 minutes before bed, write tomorrow's priorities. That's it. 3 small things. Week 2, add morning pages. Even just 1 page instead of 3. And schedule 1 daydream break per day. Week 3, do your time audit. Notice your scroll holes. Make 1 environment change based on what you find. Week 4, try your first weekly fun audit. Complete 1 mini project. Something small you can finish. You don't have to get this perfect. You just have to start. Every single day you fill an empty moment with something real, you're voting for the person you're becoming. And eventually, you won't have to try anymore. You'll just be someone who doesn't need to scroll, because your life will be too full. The goal isn't a perfectly optimized day. The goal is a day so interesting you forget to check the time. Start tomorrow morning. Just one thing. See what happens. Notice how you feel. Your phone isn't going anywhere, but neither is your life. The question is which one you want to be more interesting. I think you already know the answer. Learn something new? Hit that like button, share it with others, tap subscribe, and stick around for more. Got thoughts? I'd love to hear them in the comments.